And we are live. Hey, welcome today to another episode of Midday Cafe. And I am one of your hosts, Mike Gannotti, along with
Tyrelle Barnes.
And Tyrelle, that does not look like you are broadcasting out of Asheville or Raleigh. Where the heck are you?
No, this doesn't look like my office at home, does it?
No.
I am at the Gartner HR Tech Conference in Orlando. Actually at Disney, Lake Buena Vista, Disney Springs, one of the Disney places.
Yeah.
And sitting in front of the booth, our booth is right next to the LinkedIn booth. And it's been a really exciting, busy, this is actually the last day and the conference ends in 15 minutes and you can see how busy it is. Still, people are here. It's been a lot of excitement.
Normally, like when something's ready to end, it's ghost town.
I know. No, there's been action the whole time and just great keynotes and sessions. And we had Sunita presenting on Monday at a keynote around high performance organizations and leveraging Viva and skills in Viva.
I was going to say, so my gut says, and it's also kind of fortuitous, it's the Microsoft booth and the LinkedIn booth are co-located, even though we own LinkedIn, but co-located because when we talk about skills, which is relatively new, do you want to talk real briefly about that?
Yeah, I'd love to. So skills in Viva is new. Customers, we acquired LinkedIn a long time ago, and customers have been really asking, like, why aren't you doing more with LinkedIn, Microsoft? Why? And so what we're doing is actually with skills in Viva is we're bringing in the skills taxonomy from LinkedIn and pairing that up with the Microsoft graph data so that we can actually leverage AI to infer skills. And so there's actually a great explainer video that shows this back end architecture. I think we should play that, Mike, and then we can start to talk about what's been so exciting here to learning and CHROs at the conference.
Very cool. So let me go ahead. I don't know why I put you over there. There we go. Put you back where you belong. All right. So it says I'm sharing my screen. I turned on audio. Give me like a thumbs up if the audio plays through.
Okay.
Tap into talent with skills in Microsoft Viva. A talent gap can affect your ability to execute on your company's strategic priorities. Time to recruit. Or is it? It's likely you have employees with the abilities and expertise you need, but you just don't know it. And there are others interested in upskilling and reskilling. All you need is a way to find them. Uncover the hidden expertise in your enterprise with Skills in Viva. Skills combines two powerful data layers from Microsoft. Microsoft Graph provides access to data stored across Microsoft 365 services, including signals about employee activity. LinkedIn Skills Graph leverages aggregated real-time signals to map how 39,000 unique skills relate to each other, to jobs, and to learning content. Using these signals and tags, Skills in Viva applies AI reasoning to infer employee expertise and send information to Viva and Microsoft 365 experiences. Envision surfacing insights into top and missing skills in your organization to identify opportunities for agile talent and hiring. Now picture your line of business managers using the same data to build learning paths targeted at employees who are fulfilling roles that need the skills. And your employees? They can confirm inferred skills on profile cards and search for others who have the right expertise to help accelerate a project. Bridge the talent gap with skills in Microsoft Viva.
Nice. That's the first time I watched that.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, it's a pretty great way just to kind of understand what's going on in the back end, and it has really resonated. So HR Tech Conference was a couple weeks ago in Vegas, and that's where we first announced Skills in Viva. Right. And actually, Josh Burson, who gave the keynote, did a really nice job of highlighting multiple times, Microsoft and kind of where we're really disrupting the learning and employee experience space. So following that, at this conference, we've had a lot of interest, and it's what we're doing is just by so many customers spend so much time and effort, and a lot of money to try to build these skills taxonomies, to try to understand the skills in their organization, where the gaps are, Mike. And then, so this is actually a really powerful use case for leveraging AI to do that work. Right. And so we're the only ones that can do that. We're the only ones that have the graph, right? Our customers can access all of that information in the graph. Yep. And then also being able to have those all inferred and be fresh and like refreshed regularly. And so ongoing. So it's not like I had a customer telling me that they were trying to do this in Excel and build spreadsheets, and then there's other customers who have actually invested a lot in building out a skills taxonomy for their organization, and we can absolutely leverage that as well. So you can bring in your own skills taxonomy, marry that up with the LinkedIn Learning taxonomy, and then we have a deduplicative way that we can take out the duplicate roles and titles and such. But yeah, so just being able to leverage all of that for employees to kind of infer, and then what happens is the AI will nudge you and say, hey, Mike, I see that you have these skills in Teams and in SharePoint, and you can confirm if it's a skill you have, and then you can put what proficiency you have, and if you'd like, you can have that show up on your people card. So when somebody's hovering over your people card in Outlook, maybe they're getting ready to work with you, and they're like, hey, I've heard about this Mike Gannotti. He's kind of famous here. I wonder what he does, what his expertise is. And they can hover over that. And they can see what skills you have and what your expertise is, and before they start to partner with you. So really cool.
Yeah. I like how we're, one, you can bubble stuff up like they were showing for managers and getting views and all that. That's all great. But I really like the idea of that contextual bubbling up where people show up within the 365 ecosystem via those cards, because then you can start to marry it to other employee experience data where you can say, hey, here's their skills, here's their, goals, here's their other content they're working on. So you're really getting, as somebody, that real holistic picture right across the board, and bringing it to the person where they're at, right? So it's that contextual bubble up. That's awesome.
Right, because that's been the other thing is, having an employee have to go to some other place to update their skills. Yeah. I mean, how often does that happen? I don't think I've ever manually updated my skills. So who has time for that? But so yes, you don't have to worry about that anymore. And it's great for like internal mobility, and for like if you're, looking for an opportunity and there's another role that you might be interested in, well, what courses can you take to kind of upskill for that new role? Right. And then also obviously, so skills in Viva it's not a module. It comes with the Viva suite. And so in order to get skills in Viva, you purchase the suite, because it is a cross suite solution. So for the learning team, it's going to help them identify areas where they can build learning paths and learning academies for different parts of the employee population that might need to upskill in these different ways. But then also be able to leverage like Viva Amplify to advertise, hey, we have these new learning academies you might be interested in taking.
People cards in topics, subject matter experts. Right?
Helping teams find each other in the organization. Now that we're in our digital remote hub type of work, doing it all in teams, I mean, it gives us a way to kind of really be like a whole, organization and know each other without having to be co-located, right?
Right. No, I love it. I think it's great, and didn't Josh Burson, didn't he also, I know he talked about it last week, he published an article recently about it, right?
Yeah, he did.
What do you have to say about us and doing this?
Well, he said we're completely disrupting the space, the employee experience space, with our platform and by leveraging AI, and it's only going to get better and better with Copilot. Because Copilot just comes in and makes it that much richer. And you can start to have Copilot, leverage. Well, okay, so I have these different parts of the population that we need to upskill in these ways. What are some courses they could take Copilot? Can you design these learning paths for them? So yeah, really being able to kind of bring it all together.
As I think about it too, like not just Copilot, but what I love to see, and I liked they really highlighted it there. A lot of orgs would like to be ready to leverage skills, but they haven't done. We have ones that, yes, they've done taxonomy. We can absolutely bring that in and marry it. But for those organizations, they're like, oh God, that's another big project we have to do to create. We're bringing the power of the graph, where we know what this person's doing, what they're saying, what they're writing, all of that's manifest there, right? And then combining that with the world's largest identifier of skills, which is LinkedIn Learning, and being able to, because, having those in the same house and being able to marry that together, orgs can get that jump start to this without ever having to do the heavy lift. And then they can refine later.
It comes with the skills in Viva with the suite now. So I have a large customer who actually didn't have a skills taxonomy built out yet. Yeah. And so they were looking at spending money to do that. And now they don't have to. They can just leverage the one that we have. And then I had another customer earlier today talking about how they don't have LinkedIn Learning as one of their LMSs, but they have a lot of employees. They're thinking about it, and they were talking to the LinkedIn team today because they have so many employees taking LinkedIn Learning courses and expensing them. So there's such a demand because it has the courses that people really need, like right now, like AI, how to write the prompts and how to kind of get up to speed on AI and leveraging AI in your day-to-day work,
which is everywhere right now.
Right.
So, we're doing all this. I love how it's going to be part of the Viva suite, so that, again, that value add, and this is a huge value add, because like you mentioned, the one customer doesn't have to do that spend, and that kind of a spend, bringing in consulting and doing that is by no means inconsequential. That's usually a big dollar item.
And static.
And
so
static,
you build it, and by the 6 months later, when it's done, it's actually changed already.
It's stale.
It's stale. Yeah. And that's how fast things are changing and evolving.
Well, so, we've talked about, what it is, how it's working, but you're at a conference, right? Which we see it's wrapping up. I see somebody back there in the Microsoft booth, looks like he's putting stuff away. But having said that, what was your experience with interacting with people? What are you hearing? What are people saying that were there on the ground?
They're so excited. I mean, we have everything from people going, tell me what Viva is. And not even realizing, hey, actually, do you have Teams on your phone? Let me show you. So a lot of that conversation, which was really fun, showed them Viva insights. And they're like, oh, I was wondering how my colleague was able to schedule focus time. And now I know. So that to people who are actually using the suite and going, hey, I want to hear more about skills in Viva, because we're just getting ready to start our private previews by the end of this calendar year. And so we're looking to go to public preview and GA in the first half of next year.
Nice.
So that, and yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say that. And then also Viva Glint has been something top of mind that a lot of customers have been asking about here. So a lot of talent officers, chief people officers, and CHROs here, and lots of good conversations there.
And again, that's bringing synergy into Viva, because you get it with the suite and you have insights and all that objective data based upon the graph and what people are doing, augmented with that subjective experience. This is great. I love that. There's people right there.
I know. Yeah, everybody's it's been a really I've heard that this year is a lot more attendees. I think 5,000, the Gartner folks, and Gartner's done a great job. There's been a lot of really cool sessions with Gartner, and they're their research organization. But they said this has been one of the most attended conferences, HR tech conferences with 5,000 attendees.
Wow,
So,
that's nice.
Yeah.
So what we'll do then, I guess, we'll put some links in for the post, right?
Maybe a link to Josh
you have that
Burson's
link
blog.
to Josh, right?
Yeah.
To his post. We'll put all that in there, people. And then if they want to learn more, they should be doing what?
Reach out to your Microsoft account team. And I've been saying that a lot here too. So
yeah, and get into the private preview if you're really looking to supercharge your enterprise. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, safe travels, Tyrelle.
Thank you.
And
very nice to see you.
Nice to see you. And I guess we'll be talking again in another 2 weeks on MidDay
Café.
Take care, everybody, and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.